episode is all about our brand new 4.4 metre compact glamping dome from True Domes, and in this episode we're going to show you a start to finish build. As you can see, I've been building the base. It's taken quite a long time and we've done it a bit of a different way. Normally we would just put it straight onto the blocks, but James from Dartmoor Domes told us about these adjustable, I don't even know what they're called, but basically you can unscrew them, hang on, and then you can adjust the level to make the levels much easier to get, so you don't have to level each block to itself like we would normally do. So these are Duplast. They weren't cheap. I don't think I'd like to do a gigantic 10 metre dome with them because I think it was about £100 just for 30 of them. But hopefully it'll work on this mini project. We thought we'd have a go at it. So basically we've run all the joints straight. We've worked out where the centre is here, and then we're working it onto pieces of sterling board that are going to be 1.2 by 2.4. So now that I've done this major part of it, I now got to do all the edge pieces. So we need to, this is the fiddly bit, to do all these edge pieces. But as luck would have it, the builders are here and he's lent me a battery powered circular saw because my generator's packed up. I was just going to do it with the hand saw, but this is hopefully going to make life a lot quicker and I'll be able to just whiz those last bits round. The base is now complete. All the way through, I've been checking with my tape measure just to make sure that it's about roughly 2 metres 20 because the diameter of it's 4.4 metres. So I've got my screw in the middle and my tape measure that just spins me around the whole way. And next I need to get the sterling board out of the container. However, it's flipping heavy and I just managed to sort of drag this piece here, but I've got 8 pieces to get out of the container over to here. So that is what I'm going to do now. The circle's now cut. It's not quite 100%. I need to add a little piece on here. Also, I was trying to use my offcuts, which means I'm got a wonky edge here. So I may have to replace those 2 bits of sterling board. But what I'm going to do is get the dome frame constructed and then see how it sits and what I need to add and what I need to take away. I've set myself a bit of a challenge to see if I can construct this 4.4 metre compact dome from True Domes by myself. This is what it looks like. It has 35 B struts, which are the green ones, and 30 A struts. So to me it sounds like it should be fairly simple. Obviously they recommend you do it with more people than one, but I'm going to give it a go. So the base is complete. Let's see how we get on. We firstly start with this framework here, which is all B's. So I'm going to go and line them all up and start screwing them together. That's been just about 1 hour, literally give or take a few minutes to get to this point. I'm just going to stop the clock now because I need to go and get a ladder because I can't quite reach. I thought I'd be able to, but I can't. So essentially you kind of saw what happened. The dome would kind of shift off as I was adjusting, so I had to keep pushing it on. And that is the beauty of the fact that this is aluminium. I think if this was steel, I'd have really struggled by myself, but because it's aluminium, it's so light, you can just move it around. That's why I haven't screwed them down yet, because I just want to be able to adjust the position of the dome. Not sure where I want the door yet, that sort of thing. So yeah, and this one, in all the other domes, there's been kind of options of whether you put it at the top or the bottom, but this one's all been the top, so that's been nice and easy. And then because it's just A and B poles, it's an awful lot quicker because it's not quite so complicated, so it does go up super quick. So I'm just going to go and get the ladder and then finish off these last few poles. You can see there's hardly any poles left, that's all I've got to do. So we'll crack on. That's the framework completed. Took me an hour and a half in total, which didn't think was too bad. Next I need to fix all these to the base. So I've got issues where this is where it's going to be, but underneath I don't have anything to screw into. So I'm going to need to put an extra bit of reinforcing of wood in there. So I've got to do a few bits like that, which I knew I would have to anyway. Then I've got to take a section out for the door and then get the cover over. I've now removed the 5 pieces, or 6 pieces actually, that make the door frame up. So now when the cover comes over, this will be a zip-in door. I had to really think about where I wanted the panoramic window because the door is on the right. So ideally I would have liked the door that side, but it doesn't really matter. It means people can drive up and then unload and leave their car there possibly and be looking out that way. So genuinely, find somebody else to help you with this, but I'm kind of just experimenting to see if I can do this by myself. So we've got the cover. I've attached about 4 ropes on it, onto these like D-ring things here, so that I can then basically start pulling, so tying a rope on, pulling it and sliding it over. That is the theory. Let's have a go. So here's the finished dome. What do you think about it? So it's only 4.4 metres, so it's a 2V rather than a 3V, which makes it a slightly different shape. Let me just show you inside, because I've done all the insulation. The insulation was quite easy to do because I could reach the top, which made it super easy. I didn't even have to get the ladder out. I actually ended up losing the instructions, and even without any instructions, I managed to figure out, you know, the 2 panel goes there, 3 panel goes across the back, then there's a single, then there's a 2. It took a little bit of jiggery pokery, but it wasn't too bad. So let's talk about the curtains. So it's a really clever design. They've just got 1 pole here, but because if you just had the pole here, they would hang and you'd lose about 1 metre of space. They've engineered this pole, these 2 poles, to hold the curtain behind, so the curtain stays back, and then you can utilise the whole space. So that's really helpful. Took me a little bit of figuring out, but I got there in the end. And it means then you've got all this space. So this is absolutely perfect for 2. We've just got a double futon in here basically. So you could also fit a single bed in here. We could even probably fit 2 camp beds or a side chair. And obviously I haven't done the floor yet because we've got guests in here this weekend. So I just didn't have time, but we are going to get a piece of lino, I think, and just cut it to shape. When we do the lino, we'll unscrew the anchor bolts here, so we can slide the lino underneath like we did with the 10 metre event dome. Bit of bunting, and I think it looks lovely. Oh, hello. What do you think of my new 4.4 metre dome?
It's different. I quite like it. So we're going to have this, I take it, instead of just having the bell tents up all year.
We have put the bell tent up and down 4 or 5 times this season.
Yeah, true.
And it's a pain in the bum, just up, down, take all the furniture out, put it back in again. So this will enable us to have extra space for guests, like when there's a full site booking and they've got an extra couple or something.
Yeah.
And it's
more
just
insulated as well, isn't it?
Permanent, so much more insulated.
I've not been inside it since you've done it. So, okay, so what are you doing about the floor though?
Floor needs redoing, absolutely, because I just told the people.
Okay.
I'm going to put vinyl down.
Yeah, you definitely need to do that. Oh, this is quite homely.
Well, thank you.
I like the bunting and that. It's actually really quite spacious. I didn't think it was going to be this spacious.
So you're 6 foot.
Yeah, bang on.
And you can stand up, obviously.
Obviously you can't stand over here, but I could have a chair over here or something maybe.
Yeah.
And I'd sit in quite nicely.
Yeah.
Huh, curtains are quite interestingly done.
Well, I thought it was quite clever.
Yeah, it's a good use of space because you could even have something over there then.
Yeah.
Wow. No, I like it.
I like the grey too. Like,
it does definitely work.
Because this is a pewter curtain, and I think I can't remember the name of the insulation, but it's grey, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's quite nice and neutral.
Yeah, no, I think you've done a good choice here.
Oh, I thank you. And I managed to do it all by myself.
I'm even more surprised by that. I didn't think you had a hope in hell. I thought you'd be calling me up saying, help me, I can't do this. But I've been at work all the time. I come back and find you've done this. So well done.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm impressed.
So what do you think about the 4.4 metre dome? Let us know in the comments whether it's something that you would use for a glamping space or whether you think it would be a great additional space. Obviously this is being used as a kind of pop-up extra space for guests who have come as a group, but ultimately we want to make this an addition to our 8 metre dome and have it on the same side, so that perhaps you could put teenagers in here or have it as a little cinema room, or basically the options for this are endless, even a dining room it could be. So let us know what you think and we will see you on our next video. Our next video should be quite exciting because we're going to show you in all the different size domes, which I know I promised you ages ago, but we're going to do it now. So we'll show you all the different size and the range of true domes, and hopefully you will see us again then.